Welcome back, everyone. 欢迎大家回来。今天是第52天。It is day 52. Business as usual. Nothing out of the ordinary. I thought of an idea though. I think we're gonna use the notes to write sample sentences that I would use. What languages do I speak currently? I mean, technically, I'm okay with speaking most of these languages. But I think maybe you need a qualifier for the speak, but I don't mind speaking any of the languages I'm currently learning as well, or reading. So I think a fun little activity in the future, because we started making alternative mnemonics, right, for the extra looser words. It would be fun to write a sentence, a context sentence, in the notes section of all these cards using the target language in order to contextualize it. So I think we're going to do that in the future for fun. Then our cards then would have phrases and stuff that I would use over time. And that integrates a bit of the things that I do off stream. Where I think about words that I learned today and how I would use them for my own sake. I think that's an activity that we can add in the future. Starting with the ones that are every once in a while coming up as errors, right? Provide our own context sentences onto the flashcards. Okay, let's go over. I guess that didn't really answer your question, Sing. I guess at this point, I'm okay with speaking some English, Fujianese, Mandarin, and Japanese. I'm okay with that. Or typing them, I suppose, or reading them. Speaking to some extent. Mildly okay with Spanish. But this year will be more about that. Can I speak Cantonese? I cannot speak Cantonese. Well, I can imitate Cantonese. But it requires someone speaking to me in Cantonese. So speaking has two properties. Speaking deals with construction, right? There's construction, and then there's also response. If either is enough to qualify speaking, then yes, I can speak Cantonese. So I can respond in Cantonese, but that requires that there's a person speaking to me in Cantonese. Most of this stuff requires a person to speak to me. So Mandarin, Japanese, English, and Fujianese. Like Fujianese literally requires me to someone to speak to me in order for me to respond. They can't really type it. I'd be surprised if someone could teach me how to type Fujianese. Cantonese you can get maybe I could like use pinyin or the characters I recognize in traditional to read some of that, but I doubt it. My parents and I do watch Cantonese programming from time to time. Like Jade World, for example. Jade World is often in Cantonese. The Jade World Network. Okay, so let's go over these things. This was Nai, right? Nai. May did not have. My is the source of error. My. What's the source of error on this? Oh, 息休息休息. Do you use any other apps or websites to learn Chinese? Yeah, my life. Oh, other apps or websites? No, not at the moment. We completed the Duolingo Chinese course. Oh, I guess technically we don't learn anything from Duolingo anymore. We practice. There's practice. And I don't use any other sites to learn Mandarin. I use other sites to practice Mandarin though. Like grammar is technically practice now. I'm practicing grammar. And so like a grammar site would be technically practicing grammar, and a dictionary is practicing. I use dictionaries to practice things, not to learn new things. So this is where most of my vocabulary discovery is coming from at the moment. It's part of my project. T was the error. Salesperson was the error. Oops. Whoa, my hand just jittered there. Individual person was the error. Oh, this was rough. Leader. 1,000 of something. Leader. Leader can be 1,000 of something. To accuse is the error. Alright. We're good. Let's go. Let's go. Got some apple snacks here for energy. Okay.
视觉
视觉. Oh, interesting. 视觉. So to look at senses. 视觉. So the seeing senses, vision. Yeah, I almost feel like we should add seeing to this instead of to look at. Like the act, this would check out a lot more for this vocabulary word. So the sense that allows you to look at things is your vision. Fair enough. Great way to do it. 视觉, 视觉, sharp, something. Oh, those are different.
视觉敏锐
敏锐, 敏锐. Interesting. 锐. Haven't used ray at all up to this moment. 视觉敏锐. 视觉 D memory. D. We have soul. I haven't seen that combination. We'll say G. Yeah.
视觉记忆
G. Oh wait, so still E. I figured maybe the soul will modify the E, but it's still E. Okay. 视觉记忆. Okay. Oops.
视觉
视觉
听写
听写 to listen and write. Interesting. Do you think that learning Chinese and Japanese have somewhat changed my perspective towards life? No, not really. It has changed my perspective towards English though. I guess English is part of my life, so yes. Not to deflate the significance, but anything particular changes my life most of the time. I'm learning things to change my life. Oh, no. Sorry. I'm not reading that question properly. It does change my perspective towards life. Yeah, I typically learn things. When I practice things, not all the time. So learning something, if it's successful, will change my perspective on things. I guess it's a much more of an interesting example to say what doesn't or unlikely to change my perspective towards life. Things like talking to someone who's talking at me, that doesn't change my perspective towards life most of the time. For example, or it's not like significantly. Like for example, someone like comes into chat and says, or someone has a bot, and the bot comes on every single day on Twitch, right? And spams for cheap followers. Click on the link below. That would not change my perspective on life too much most of the time. You've also heard that when polygons switch while speaking language, their personality also changes depending on language they speak. What are your thoughts on that? I think in the honeymoon period, at any one time, so when you're thinking about any one time, not necessarily across the length. So two things. One, when you're looking at someone at any specific time. So when you observe a polyglot at any specific time, there will be instances in which they deliberately engage actively in acquiring speech of a language. And that engagement deals with sacrificing and wholeheartedly imitating and exaggerating. It's a very incredible, useful, mechanical form of acquiring knowledge, like learning. When you are actively engaged, you tend to like when in Rome, do as the Romans do. However, then we can apply that logic to any one time outside of that, and the answer would be no. So it would be yes if you're looking at the instances in which they are actively trying to learn and speak and be engrossed and actively engage in an in-group. When they are individually on the out-group, as in they're alone or to their own thoughts, the answer would be no. But you don't usually see that. Most of the time in content creation and speech and stuff, like for me here, you would be engaged in that. So there might be some observable personality change. However, over time, now we're going to change the perspective to over the course of one's life, right? Like the big thing, the culmination. Generally speaking, individuals who have achieved high intellectual curiosity and abilities, they tend to be uniquely themselves in summation. So if you're looking at the course of the summation of a polyglot and or any person who's multidisciplinary, it's a summation of everything. So they would not be uniquely be able to be defined at any given one point. So when you look at one point in time, it's difficult to define someone who has multiple disciplines. It's easier if the person is specialized, as in if they speak in one language a time and all the time, then one could also marry the length of the breadth of one's knowledge and any specific time, because they would be like, say, if they only speak English, then they would consistently be an English speaker at any one time. So if you step back and look at a polyglot, the summation of everything would be consistent. at any one point in time, it may appear like it changes. So that's probably my best example of it. So my thoughts are yes and no. If you look at when they're speaking a specific language, you might think that they're behaving differently from themselves. But if you step back and look at them as a whole, they're behaving no differently than all of their languages. They do code swap, but code swapping is part of being appropriate. So like right now, when I'm answering your question, I could consistently say, well, yeah, bruh, but that would be inconsistent with how to approach answering the question. So what you don't hear doesn't necessarily mean they don't exist. Like I don't always sound like this when I'm playing video games within a given language. So when I'm playing a video game, I might sound a little bit different than when I'm learning something. Those are compartmentalizations of code swapping. I call it code swapping when it comes like personalities and intentional things. When I'm speaking, like for example, when I speak to my parents in Fujianese, I can choose to speak like them, or I could choose to sound like myself, or like a combination, a blend of it. So when I'm like pronouncing these words, I'm not deliberately anymore. Since I'm closer to Mandarin, I don't deliberately try to sound like a Mandarin speaker. I try to sound like something I'm most comfortable in saying. So it will sound like a Fujianese English speaker speaking Mandarin. And that is a choice. I think oftentimes the benefit of learning is to fully invest and engross yourself in the task. So in the beginning, like for when people get apprehensive, they're like, oh, but I sound like a goofball. I sound like that. The idea is you want to engage in that goofballness, right? Like, if you can't say watashi very well, and it comes off like watashi, commit to it, and it's gonna have a personality change. It's gonna look like you have a personality change, but ultimately it's a very efficacious way to sound and tool. So any given time you might be able to find personality changes. However, it's more like expressing a part of a whole, so you have more tools. That's probably the best way I can think about it. So yes and no. Yes and no, and those are probably the primary ones. I engage in code swapping a lot. In fact, it doesn't have to be languages. I live between cultures. I live between two cultures, sometimes three. I consider the way I behave on the internet, my streaming culture, to be very different from my IRL culture. And my IRL culture is separated between my parents' culture and my immediate country that I live in. So oftentimes my personality will be different, quote unquote. It will be different depending on the culture. And you can do this if you want, or alternatively, a lot of people decide they want to keep their personality consistent, but that comes from a monocultural perspective. And that is perfectly fine if you're surrounded by your culture that you're used to. Japanese people ultimately spend the vast majority of their time, for example, behaving like Japanese people when they're in Japan. They're not going to deliberately try to code swap into an internet culture inappropriate for a public situation in Japan. For example, the internet that they occupy is very Americanized. They can choose to bring that Americanized internet culture to IRL in the country, but generally speaking, they don't have to. So for me, I can choose to act like an American around like English-speaking American around my parents, or I can sound like a Fujianese person and a son of very proud Fujianese parents, right? So those are the things that I would probably emphasize when it comes to polyglotism. So the thing is, yes, it's true, and no, it's not true at the same time. At the moment for my Mandarin, I'm not no longer in a position where I'm code swapping for Mandarin during the stream. So during the stream, I'm not behaving in a culturally distinct way anymore. As in, the way I learn Japanese and Mandarin is going to look very similar because the way HanziHero and Wanikani uh, disseminates information, the foundations of that information is no longer unique, as in it's well practiced now. So the pronunciation and pitch accent that I need to acquire through practice is not a learned response anymore. So like, and also all the pinyin and the tonation is no longer it. So now my personality, my specific personality, seems very consistent. When I first started on like Duolingo Chinese or something, it might have seemed very exaggerated because I'm deliberately trying to be exaggerated in order to acquire how it feels, and then you refine it. So it goes with like voice acting too, right? A lot of times, if you're not committed to the bit, until you get the gross bit, like the exaggerated parts, you wouldn't be able to appreciate the finer nuances, right? So gather the foundations by participating and then refining it to get a nice tweak. It's kind of like drawing too, right? When you draw triangles and circles and squares to compose all your pieces, that works out. You can capture most things with triangles, squares, and circles. That's how polygons work when it comes to computer technology, right? And then eventually, with all the exaggerated squares, triangles, and circles, which are really rough and very easily shown, you can start fine-tuning them. Triangles become more like cornered curved triangles, and then squares become like diamond shaped. That's the kind of thing that creates refinement. So in my opinion, yes, you can probably find polyglots at any one time that will look like their personality changed, for sure. I think overall, though, the difference between someone who is truly polyglot, as in like someone who truly internalizes their information, is that they can choose when to do that. And that is an exceptional talent or exceptional dedication to their craft that another person will be able to appreciate if they're also in that status. I am not in that status, so I can't really tell, right? I don't think I can go to a bunch of polyglots and then pick out the one polyglot that's still which languages perhaps that they're learning at the moment and which languages that they are very natural in. Although you can probably still continue to pick out lots guess. You can make a very excellent educated guess, right? This subject matter that I'm talking about, I don't break character or any personality quirks or anything, largely because this is the discipline that I'm most used to talking about. I changed it to frame it in a way that I know best, as opposed to telling you, well, the alternative is I don't know a lot of polyglots, so I wouldn't know. That's an alternative way to go about it, where you're like taking the literal meaning of it. But I'm guessing that's probably what people observe. For myself, sometimes I mess around. Like try to quote unquote sound Japanesey. But for me, in the long run, once you understand or speak multiple languages in an internalized way, I don't necessarily think you have to undergo a personality change, for example. I think it's a misnomer. I'm going to put it a quote. This is my opinion. It's a little hot. The misnomer is that you end up ultimately having a different voice or behaving differently as a hallmark of competence in a language. Language is a component of culture, and culture itself can shape one's personality and behaviors. But that personality and behavior belongs to the person in the bigger picture, not in a smaller confined picture. So the reason why I say this is because I wear a lot of masks in my life. Now, you can choose not to wear a mask, and you can choose to be like, quote unquote, this is the hot take, be true to yourself at all times, right? And how is this possible in both ways? Well, I can be true to myself while wearing multiple masks because it's part of my whole. When someone is sad and you're like, you're not good with sad people, I'll still try to be someone who I'm not usually, for example. That's part of my personality. Now, it is very different from someone who has a perspective like, oh yeah, you're always being your true self, so you always express your true self. That is very different. I don't usually express everything about myself when it's I usually express myself when it's appropriate, and when it's not appropriate, I still know that I have this. I just choose not to do that, right? And I like that I can do that. Other people do not have the same relationship. There are plenty of individuals who are like very prideful and like being, quote unquote, genuinely expressive. Not genuine to the self. I am most definitely genuine to myself at all times. However, I can't say I wholeheartedly choose to inappropriately express things when I can choose not to. So, do I want to sound and behave like a Japanese person when I'm speaking Japanese? Sort of, yes, it's kind of fun. But at the same time, I have no aspirations to not be me, right? Polyglot status is very different. You could have a polyglot who's like, I just like being the one person when I'm speaking that language. It's like, okay, that's cool. I like to be a person who's considered someone who speaks multiple languages, but it's because I speak multiple languages, not because I speak any one language. So my personality will not, ultimately, my comfort zone, when it is appropriate, will probably not change between the two. Like if I suddenly just start thinking something in like Fujonese, I don't think my tone would change very often, as in the personality would change very often. Like when I Jirungong, my guy like sip pingo, right? Pingo, my tone doesn't really change between my English whenever I'm switching from this and Hujiwa. Gong Hujiwa li da yi mo gong ya merang yuni. Being why Ingun Gongwa, as I'm talking in English, it wouldn't change my personality too much. Like I would still continue to express 당연히 no, 당연히 no or 당연히 no, Gongwa three xiangyin no three 당연히, and it would probably sound very similar as I'm going in between the two languages. My personality is consistent, largely because the language themselves are internalized. However, when you start talking to other people, you might choose to behave a little differently based on the people. I think that's how I negotiate that one could suggest these things while speaking different languages, right? That kind of thing. Unfortunately, I'm not a polyglot, or fortunately, I'm not sure. I'm not a polyglot because when I consider being able to speak a language, my standard is that I can lead a conversation, and unfortunately, I can't at the moment. Like lots of people that are speaking in their native language, even these days, 16, like 18-year-olds to 25-year-olds, they are unable to lead their own language, lead conversation even in their own language. So that I do not have. I can only lead a language by using Fujianese and English. Most of the time, Japanese, Chinese, and even Cantonese or Spanish is in a ask and response perspective. And the first bridge to that is learning all the questions that I want to ask, right? So desu ka? Right? So desu ka? Genki desu ka? Or o genki desu ka? Doko? Doko desu, right? I have all the questions ready. So like, 你说什么? Like 你今天怎么样? Right? So as long as the first way, in my opinion, to initiate and be a leader in the discussion is be able to ask questions. And that's how I go about it. I don't think other people will do it the same way, but ultimately, if you can ask questions, people will respond to you. And then when they respond to you, you can be a responder to that. So you don't necessarily have to lead the conversation in that way. That's a way to overcome some social anxiety when it comes to not being able to develop complex ideas in discussions. The only two languages that I'm able to do that is English and Fujianese at the moment. However, that doesn't mean I can't ask questions and let the other person speak, and then I can bank off their idea. There was a comedian that I watched recently that also kind of lend to that idea. Someone asked him, what is your best accents? Right? As part of his bit, he does accents, English accents, very specifically. And the person's like, oh, well, I have to prepare for it. So I say a bunch of key phrases in order to prepare myself to sound like that. And that's kind of what I mean by speaking. In Cantonese, if I hear someone speak Cantonese to me, then I can respond to it because I'm being primed by the sound and their questions. In English, it can be the same. If someone asks you a question, that question contains enough context in order for you to say something back. And that's kind of the limit of my Japanese, Chinese, Cantonese, and Spanish. When someone asks something or describes something, I'm like, oh, okay, that's really good. Like, oh, that's a neat idea, right? Like, hey, how are you? Oh, hi. What you got, yoroshiku, saikin dou desu ka? Right? Like something very responsey. And I think that's the beginning of most language things. And even if I don't say it correctly, there's enough context because someone is offering the context. So when you ask a question, you're priming that person to hear something. And then when that person responds, you're kind of primed to speak in a specific context. So it helps alleviate the concern or the anxiety that is involved in, oh, what if I say something completely random or unrelatable? That's only when you're leading a conversation. And I am unable to lead a conversation beyond like casual. I think in Mandarin, though, I'm okay with leading casual conversation, like, 你吃了饭吗? Right? Like, did you eat yet? That kind of thing. And then they'll just talk about food, and I'll just say, oh, 我喜欢吃面, right? Or 拉面. 你喜欢吃什么? That kind of thing is okay. But complex discussions beyond that is not that great. Like, I could ask how you're feeling, and then that person would say a lot of feelings, and maybe I could say, oh, that person overall feels bad or good, and that's good. That's probably good enough for a response. Probably not to talk about their feelings in detail. Sometimes that's also fun as well. I getting someone to explain, oh, I heard you said you were sad, right? You were sad. Can you explain that even more to me? Right? 你觉得怎么样？你今天觉得怎么样? And then they would say something, and then you would hear, oh, 很好，请你说多，多的 word meaning. I don't know. We can't get into that much detail, right? Usually in English, when someone says, yeah, today is a bad day, it's like, oh, so what do you mean by how you're having a bad day, right? And then they would say more details like, oh, okay, is this how do you know this is bad? These are the types of line of discussion that I would have. So right now in Japanese and in Mandarin, I'm trying to figure out how to say that. And to me, if I get used to hearing someone describing how they feel in detail, that's kind of how I'm going to learn how to express myself as well. I think the vast majority of my English, the way I talk to people and explain things, came from the idea that I had a natural curiosity to asking questions. So I'm approaching learning Japanese and Mandarin and later Spanish, reviewing Spanish in the same way that I acquired English and Fujianese. Unfortunately, Fujianese is completely oral for me. So if we're not speaking, it's not going to happen. And Cantonese is the same way. The closest thing I got is 你講什麼? Like 你講乜嘢? Right? 你講乜嘢? Which is 你說什麼? Okay. Sorry, that's long-winded, but it's a very good question. Thank you for asking. Okay. 听写, to listen and then to write down, to transcribe. Transcribe is to listen to someone and write everything they say down. Yes. Take dictation. Dictation, dictate, to dictate. Yeah. 请听写我说的话。请听写我说的话。学生听写生字。
学生听写生字。
生字 for new? Interesting. 生 and then 字. I didn't, instead of 新字. 生字. Interesting. 听写 practice 听写省时 no 人时中文
听写练习中文。
Oh, 练 Oh, that's 练 Oh, yeah, that's right. 练习 Dang it. 练习 To practice 练习 That's what happens when you're looking at traditional characters. 练习 Wow, you did change quite a bit. Okay.
听写病床。
病床 Okay. Sick bed. Literally sick bed. Yep, a bed that is for someone with an illness is called a sick bed. Hospital bed. Yeah. 病床这个小病床 No, 这个小医院自由即将 即将病床 Man, that's a little.
这个小医院只有几张病床。
Is it 几 Yes 几有几张哦即将病床 Okay, so this is 1. I thought this was 2. Okay, 这个小医院这个小医院只有几张病床。我在他病床旁边。
我在他病床旁边。
对，病床。Oops, I've been saying it like 1, 2. 病床。sick bed.
学院。
学院 学院 instead of 大学 I wonder if this is more formal or kind of sounds more formal 学院学院 okay. 你有去过那所学院吗？我住在学院附近 ，right？ 我住在学院附近。
我住在学院附近。
Okay. Yeah. Wait. Yes.
学院。觉得。
So you are sensing to obtain. Okay. And it's silent. Your senses silently and unconsciously obtain sensations that determine how you feel. Okay. Or to think. Over that. 我觉得这个 Oh wait, is there alternative? Yes. It's 2-2. Sometimes I say 2-2. I'm glad they added the alternative. 觉得 right? 觉得 versus 觉得我觉得这个问题很难。我觉得今天的天气很好。我觉得学习汉字很好玩。Oh, that's interesting.
我觉得学习汉字很好玩。
汉字很好玩。whoops.
觉得。
I usually think to think. Thinking is a feeling too. Okay. 视觉。学院。Oh, whoops. Never mind. I don't want to talk about it.
病床。学院。
学院。Yeah, the exotic hat. I stopped reading at the exotic hat. I needed to be careful about that.
觉得。
Neck gun, right? Neck gun. We should use our mnemonic here. So neck gun in front. This is in front of the neck gun. Oh, right. Ping血.
听写
Ping 血. Oops. 血. All right. 听见. Oh, 听见. Yeah, to listen, to see. You listen and then you see. When you listen to something attentively to point your eardrum, to the point your eardrum can see the sound waves, then you finally hear. It's still technically listen to it. Ting Jian is like being able to perceive what you heard, right? Like now you heard something. When you're listening, you might not be hearing it. If you're listening for something, when you're listening for something, it might not actually be happening. When you hear something, it means you have already heard. Like it's often like you have perceived it. So I kind of see what they're going for here. Now, I'm not sure. I mean, 听见 can still be I'm listening, as opposed to I'm hearing. Anyways, we'll leave it at that for now. 我能听见下雨。下雨 what the heck is that? 下雨乡音 Oh, 乡音
我能听见下雨声。
乡 Okay, yeah, 乡 like 乡音 This is a sound. 乡音 is volume. So 我能听见下雨声。我听见了他的乡音。Oh yeah, there's 音。
我听见了他的声音。
声音。我听见了。What are you? A bug? A counter for bug? Turkey with a folding stool. I have no idea.
我听见了一只虫。
Oh, it's still 只. Oh yeah, that's 只. That's the other 只. Traditional 只. I guess bugs are animals too. 一只虫. Alright.
听见看病
看病 to see illness is to see a doctor. Yep. 看病 It's all a doctor, seeing a doctor, see a patient. Oh, interesting. It's yeah, the reverse too, huh? Okay. 他感冒了。所以去看病了。Okay. 他感冒了，所以去看病了。他明天去医院看病了。他应该去看病。他应该去看病。
你应该去看病。
Oh, 你应该 whoops. I was thinking of he and her still in the pronoun section. 看病
看病
or to get a check or to look at the illness is still reasonable actually.
知觉
知觉 to know through senses, consciousness allows you to know what is happening via your senses. Consciousness, perceptions. Okay. 知觉 recover consciousness. Well, I don't know. 保速知觉
恢复知觉。
恢复恢复 okay 恢复知觉 I don't know the word recover.
恢复知觉。
Do I have 复 I don't think I have 复
恢复知觉。
恢复知觉 lose consciousness. 说去 no
失去知觉。
失去知觉
听到
听到 oh jeez 听到 and 听见 yeah that's to hear too. It arrives at your ear 听到 which is closer as well to the perceived hearing. 你听到音你听到音乐 right 音乐了吗？
你听到音乐了吗？
你听到音乐了吗？我听到风音风声。
我听到风声。
他听到了一个好消息他听到他听到了一个好消息。
他听到了一个好消息。
一个好消息。听到了一个好消息。
听到生病
yeah. Life is ill. Oh, to fall ill. Okay. Is there an alternative to 生病 No. 他明天生病了。他昨天生病了 Not tomorrow. 他昨天生病了。他每年冬天都如易生病。
他每年冬天都容易生病。
都容易生病。Easily fall. I'll get ill. 生病时应该应该多休息。
生病时应该多休息。
多休息。
生病时应该多休息。
休息。I think this one 休息 is 休息 or 休息 as in neutral. I'm not sure. I think this can be neutral too. 病
生病，
听见
听见，
视觉啊哦知哦 that's 知 whoops 听到
听到，
病
看病，
看病生病
生病，
知
知觉，
I just okay
打听，
打听 to inquire to strike to listen 打听 to inquire about something you go around and strike people until they tell you what you want to hear then listen to what they say 打听 interesting to ask about I think to ask about is more to strike a listen to strike to listen okay I got you打听朋友打听朋友的消息消息打听朋友的消息打听 it's not 别人what the heck is that something 人骑 maybe 骑人的下下着
打听某人的下落，
哦下落哦哇落and 某人
打听某人的下落，打听某人的下落，
某人 interesting 某人 someone 某人的下落
打听某人的下落，
interesting 落 and 某听
打听，病人，
病人 right sick people are patients they also take sick people 他是一位病人病人需要休息医院里有很多病人 certainly do 病人
病人，
I think I said ice people a couple times already 病人病人 I said ice people like 4 or 5 times just now 病人
好听，
好听好听 pleasant to hear makes sense good to listen pleasant to hear okay nice sounding I like nice sounding what is the unit for song let's see 这支歌真的很好听
这首歌真的很好听。
这首歌真的很好听他的 voice 他的声音很好听 interesting you can just say 声音 for her voice
她的声音很好听。
intriguing 宜声很好听 The sound of rain. Yeah. 好听
好听。性
性性 Okay. Xena's in the bathroom of the English manor, full of excitement. She zips in 2 fins to each of her side and throws a mask. Okay. Mask on the soapy marble ground and uses that to excitedly slide around the luxurious bathroom, swinging her sword, flapping her zipped on fins. That does sound exciting, doesn't it? 心高兴 oh, and then that's the same 心 okay. 兴趣 yeah, 兴趣 spoil 扫兴 interesting. 开心 as well.
性课
yeah, 课 guess is guess. A podium and a dollhouse. Whenever a guest arrives to your house, you're sure to give them a dollhouse and have them stand on a podium, bang on the dollhouse, and announce their name. I guess. Fair enough. Forehead. The mnemonics of forehead. Yes.
课
I understand why he used K. Kermit the Frog is in the bathroom of the electricity plant, where he has been invited as a distinguished guest. All the CCTV cameras in the bathroom follows the movement as he walks to one of the urinals. He feels less like a guest and more like some weird puppet prisoner. Huh? 客机 interesting. 客机旅客客所 oh 客户 oh yeah, that's 客户 my bad 客户 passenger ride 常客 that's probably ride right 常客 carry 多客 斋客 just kidding 斋 oh 斋客 that 斋 like what is it 斋 and download oh it might be
课
okay
打听好听病人性课
okay next one 钱 coin ooh we're gonna need alternatives to add to 钱 yeah we got metal that's classic I don't think I need to use any mnemonics for metal metal is metal it's synonymous a flail all right hit me up I see 2 halberds but Oh, if you combine two halberds, it kind of looks like a flail, actually. A flail is a weapon attached that consists of a pole or handle, a chain, and some sort of object at the end, right? Here we make a flail that consists of two halberds connected with a chain. Oh, okay. This flail is so long that you'll probably hit someone 10 feet away. Indeed, you will. Flail. Flail consists of... That's a funny weapon.
钱
Qian. So Kirby is inside the pawn shop where he is trying to buy a flail. He gives them 1 coin and obtains the metal flail. He swallows it and gains a superpower of being able to shoot out metal coins, giving them effectively infinite pawn shop money. Money, yeah, money is fine. I'm gonna add like 10. I'm gonna add gold because it's also Goi historical. A coin is fine. Okay. Uh, 有钱. Yeah, 有钱. That's definitely rich. The gift change. Intriguing. 找钱. The gift change. 找钱, really? Be economical. What the? 省钱. 钱包. And to earn money. 赚钱. Okay.
钱歌
Okay. Gandalf is in front of the electricity plant. He meets his older brother. And then we have person with a knife or bill. Person dagger or bill. His older brother is an electricity wizard and the owner of the plant. Gandalf pleads with him to forgive his overdue electricity bill. And the older brother agrees to do so in exchange for a song sung by Gandalf. Gandalf consents and starts singing a song. Oh, please, God of electricity, forgive my bill. Oh yeah, that's true. It checks out. And my lack of propriety. Propriety. Interesting. Lack of propriety as opposed to like lack of priorities. Hunger. Two. 歌词. Oh, 歌词. Oh yeah, like 词典. 歌词. Opera. 对. 注. 歌注. 歌谣. Oh, 歌舞. Oh, 跳舞. 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 So the second part. Song of Triumph. Nope. Okay.
歌
Hey,
歌 钱
all right. Now we're gonna lock in, right? Time to lock in. 116. Let's go.
常常，
这里常常会很冷。
大师，
国画大师。
Oh, master. I'm gonna put teacher too. Uh,
教学楼，
我们的教学楼有5层。
Okay.
碗，
Yep, there it is. There's the bot that I don't learn anything about life.
请教，
我们想请教你几个问题。
教师，
我的中文教师是北京人。
门票，
他买不起门票。
老师，
老师要找你问话。
同学，
他是我的同学。
请进，
他没有说请进。
别的，
他有别的想法。
试用，
我想试用一下。
非常，
这非常好吃。
Oh, very. Whoops. That's fine.
车票，
你搭公车需要车票。
身旁，
身旁，
他站在我身旁。
right.
外人，
外人不能参加这次会议。
白菜，
我不太喜欢白菜。
电脑，
我没有电脑。
难，细，第8，
他在班里排名第8。
汉语，
现代汉语词典。
甘，醋， 拿旁
Hung. Patrick is Patrick is inside the still side. Okay.
起
Kirby is inside the house to begin again. Okay, to begin.
外语
我学了很多外语。
Oh, that's fine. Oh, and Capitol building. Whoops. Yeah. It's Pinocchio PI.
P 明知
明知故问，
明知故问. Oh no. 明知 obvious or fully aware. I really. It's 明知. That's another an alternative day error again. We're gonna have to write more. 明知故问 does not work. I know what I'm gonna add to that.
B
I thought it was in the basement, but it might be in the bathroom. Oh no, wait. Someone saw a bunch of cocoon men, right? Oh, yeah. Someone saw a bunch of cocoon men. It was definitely Jimmy Neutron. But was it in the infirmary? Or actually, I have no idea. It is in the basement. Oh, of the house though. Of the house. Yeah. The locations are not very specific. Jeez. Couldn't use the mnemonic very well there.
问好
他向你问好。
Hmm. I'm adding something here in notes. Ming. What's this? 明知自 我 Oh wow. I've never done this before. Uh, 我可以明知自己我明知 What the? I don't know how this works. I'll do it later. I don't know how the Chinese suggestions are working out. I haven't really typed that way. I was gonna say I'm fully aware of myself. But we'll keep that on the back burner for now.
笑 精 得分
他们刚刚得分了。
得分 to separate to score. Oh. Yeah, this one sucks. There's no way around it. You just gotta know.
几
What words were allowed to several? I should have wrote amount as well. Dang. I foresaw that coming. It's prototypically used for how much and an amount, not some or several. Saw it yesterday. Didn't do it today.
您 个中
个中道理。
各中道理。各中道理， Yeah, therein. Yeah, these ones suck. When you refer to an individual that's in the middle of a place, you refer to the person therein. Yep. I don't like the interpretation of this, so we'll expand it.
一些
他想吃一些甜点。
从不
他上班从不迟到。
不，他上班从不 not able to can't get to it too late never well, that's annoying on my screen, but okay. No event that follows. I don't like this either. Yeah, I think that'll be a road memory thing.
在家
你什么时
做是非
难辨是非？
Ah, dang it, that's the wrong tone.
先生
张先生，
Oops, wrong tone. I'm not locking in today. It's getting very annoying, actually.
写多少
这个要多少钱？
日期做同班
他是我的同班。
9月
9月是学校开学的时候。
不过，
不过还是谢谢你。
苏，树，得到，
他得到了一本新书。
现在，
他现在不在位子上。
请，
To invite, but it's also polite. Ask. I'm just gonna say polite. Request. Ask. It's not just invite. Some of these characters I really disagree with. They're not comprehensive enough. I understand they're trying to simplify it to the next closest vocabulary, but learning the characters require more details than that. These are early ones, so I'm guessing they might go back and add other examples that are also close.
场，图，叫好，
这部电影赢得了观众的叫好。
Oh, compliment. Nah, that's fine.
是，爷爷，
他爷爷早就不在了。
方，回家，
不要回家。
7月，国，白，昨天，
你昨天在哪？
谁？进来，
我刚进来。
打工，
他在饭店打工。
明年，
我明
打，唱， 名字，
你叫什么名字？
逼，果，马路，
小
路口，
那个路口很危险。
Oh, who? Wrong tone. Wrong tone.
男子，
中年男子，
上次，
你上次生病是？
气，商店，子女，
他的子女都上学了。
见，怎样？
你今天感觉怎样？
日子，
今天是个好日子。
战，福，
Uh, I'm not sure if I agree with that anymore, but that's fine.
前年，
我前年这时候在中国。
子，门，修，难忘，
他的笑容令人难忘。
四方，
四方响应。
Oh, wrong. That's left. Left and right mix up. Expected.
右，
Alright. Today was actually kind of getting annoying. Today was getting annoying. Yeah, so many annoyances. We'll go through them one at a time. Definitely repeating stuff is getting showing a lot of limitations that I need to cover up. There are two concerning ones that I'm not sure what I'm going to do at the moment. None of the ones that are from yesterday happened today, so that's fine. Dollhouse, podium, guess. Gold. Or actually not gold. Metal. Metal. Flail, right? Flail. E. Ing. Ke. Ge. 钱 非常 大师 是 视觉 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 Oops, that's not it. 病床 学院 学院 觉得 听 听学 听写 听写 听见 听到 看病 看病 生病 知 知 资 资觉 知觉 知觉 know through feelings consciousness 打听 打听 好听 病人 Okay. So yesterday's did not sit with Cocoon Man. Jimmy, basement, was in the house. Right, to Cocoon Man. It's fine. Several Cancun men is in the basement, but it's fine because he knows they're not dangerous. Xena, bathroom, English manor. English manor. Zipper. Zipper, fins. Fins. Soapy ground. Or mask. Mask. Ground. Sliding around. Sliding around. In excitement. Excitedly sliding around. Hermit. Hermit. Bathroom. Electricity plant. Hermit, bathroom, electricity. Doing something with guess. Just has a bunch of guess. I don't know what that has to do with anything. What's he doing with the gas at the bathroom electricity plant? Yeah, no idea. That's indescript. Will end up being a weakness. Gandalf outside of the electric power plant. Talking to his older brother. Or yeah, his older brother to forgive him for not being able to pay the electricity bill. And the compromise is to sing a song. And then Kirby inside the pawn shop. Inside the pawn shop. Spending a coin. Spending a coin. Getting a flail, consuming it. And generating more coins, right? Okay, I need to see this. What the heck was the deal with Kermit the Frog? That's not what I clicked on, but... Oh. Wait, what? Yeah, here it is. Kermit the Frog is in the bathroom. Who has invited as a extinguished guest? Oh, he was being probed. That's right. He was being invited as a guest. Wonder where the... Yeah, that one's gonna be weak in the future. Probably. Alright, let's get working on dissatisfaction here. I don't know if I like this yet. It's a problem, but this is the way it's written, so I'm fine with that. This is right from left. The error was actually right, not the read. Jiaohao, I'm a little... Be called well. Um. Actually, I kind of want to know. All good, yeah. That's just a slip of my mind. I don't think we have any other way to simplify. Add to that. Be called well is to applaud or to compliment. I think compliment is the thing I should be focused on. Applaud, was it? I dislike the idea of it constantly flicking to a new page in order to look at things. Let's see. This is a misread. Oh, nothing new here, just apparel. Nothing to change. Who? 现在 nothing to change here too. Making typographical errors. This one is too. No, we're fine. 同班 this one I don't like, but I don't have a great idea of what to do about it at the moment. 同步 just the problem was never. Like not from something, so you never do something. Oh, 重复 I don't say this either. Too often. This one I'm not sure do about either. The fun, which is interpretation again. The fun, to score. Obtain parts to score. 这中 is archaic, and it's come up more than once already. Got to brute force this. 这中 I added a few contingencies, but we'll see. Therein, within, right? Within, it's still middle. So we're just gonna type middle if it's middle. It's still within something. To be in the middle of something is therein something. So I don't like these phrases like therein, henceforth, like hereafter. I don't like how they're using that type of wording. So to get used to it, we'll just add more phrases. Whoops. Adding one extra stroke. 明知 明知 that was misread. 明知 明知 oh wait, was this the definition problem? Oh no, this was the definition problem. To be fully aware. And it's a recurring one. See how long that lasts. Ting is contentious. It means polite. It's a polite thing. And there's more than just what was this, to invite? At this one, probably won't have a problem anymore after adding the ask, request, polite. This is a character problem. This is an amount problem. Several, some, how many, amount. Fei Chang was a misread. Trouble with Fei Chang. Very extremely. Okay. And then Da Shu. I'm not sure about this one. That's master's fine. It's someone who's very abled. A very abled person. Very abled. Da Shu. Alright. So this is a problem. So something that's a problem, it's probably this. That's recurring. And this is recurring. This is recurring. So we have 3 things that are recurring right now. That is not due to this. I'm not sure if this is recurring. This might actually be recurring. So we're starting to have things that are recurring that I'm gonna have to pay extra attention to. So why does so let's work on that. So 叫好. Let's create a new mnemonic for 叫好. Mouth, torch. Mouth, torch, female, and child. So when something is very good, you light a torch. Women and children light a torch. This is more like a concert thing. I'm making a concert mnemonic. Or use their cell phones. So they light something up. A torch. Not the literal fire torch, but a torch like a flashlight torch. And then 동부. So what do we have? We have sandals. We can combine these two. Sandals, a conga line, sandals, conga line, foot, and knot. So never. I will some people will not like. Some people will never put foot in a conga line. And feet have sandals. Oh, okay. And then we have so we have a headstone, a mouth, Slender Man, and middle. They're in. So Slender Man, shoved a headstone in the middle no the headstone is there in the mouth where Slender Man shoved it. Mingzhi. We have sun, moon. That's not arrow. Something else. Oh, and I forgot this thing. What is this supposed to be? Is a shoot. Shoot and mouth to be aware. Some things are some people one must shine sunlight or moonlight on things to be fully aware. On things to know how to become fully aware. Yeah, I think one of the downsides I'm seeing now is that while the mnemonic system for the characters are elaborate, the vocabulary relating the two characters are not. They're as simple as possible, so they have weaknesses. And then some of the characters that have as simple as possible, like one component, are not memorable as well, which can become a problem in the future, like Ke. Ke is not elaborate enough, although it still is more elaborate than, what was it, Xena's one. The one that I was fine with, I think, but the Xena one that I'm thinking of is C, right? So wait, yeah, C. I'm thinking of C. C is like, oh, okay, the department became the department. That's how you generalize it, which means that if you don't know department, then you don't know department. Okay, we'll see how that works out. More effort is being placed, so you just gotta write it out. Gotta start talking about it. Figure out what more effort you can place into it. So we're probably gonna do that from now, where if something is recurring, we'll probably write out the literal things and interact with them in a different way. So in this way, it's different but also reinforcing other things. Like I'm taking the components and I'm using the word and I'm breaking the words into components, which is not being done. It might be pedantic, right? You don't really need to. But other trouble words, I'll break them down further into more components and skip the character phase. I think there's too much relying on the character phase in connotation, and I don't think the same way. So we need more things. Like to say something like let me see. What is the thing for 明知 to be fully aware of something is to know it to the point that all details within are bright to you. That does not track for me. I kind of already understood that was gonna happen. I think maybe last week. So we have to rewrite the thing, and that is fine. Rewriting the thing will alleviate that. Right. One must shine sunlight and moonlight on things to know how to become fully aware. Right. Now we have to know and the moon and sun. We could go even further and use like shoot and mouth, but shoot and mouth is too much. It's I don't want to go that far. That's kind of what we're gonna do now. I think we're still around 93%. So at the end of the day, it's fine. All right. That's a wrap for our Chinese session today. Thanks for hanging out. If you're gonna watch this later, 谢谢, right? 谢谢. For always feel free to follow along. Hey, I would love to hear how you overcome some of these things. Always feel free. Love to hear the different approaches, how you interact with apps and websites. So until next time, right? Good luck with all your studies, and 下次见, right? I'm gonna be switching gears again, back to Yakuza, Pirate Yakuza. Not before I take a quick bathroom break, stretch a little bit. I'll be back. Thank you.